This is the full Astra Malorum Black Ops 7 Easter egg guide for beginners or veterans, whoever, but this is going to be the easiest guide and step-by-step on how to do everything. This Easter egg is not too difficult. It's pretty easy. I mean, you could probably get into the boss fight within 20 minutes if you use like Ultra Gobblegums. Very first thing you're going to do is just spawn in, and you basically have to open up the entire map. You have to make your way to the other end of the map to this telescope, and when you turn it on, you then have to find two like power tubes. The first one's kind of in the jug area. It's going to be next to a zombie body, and the second is going to be in the observatory area on another zombie body. They're not too hard to find, and once you get close, it'll put like the star symbol as you have to go over there and grab it. But once you grab those two, you can go over, and when you craft it onto this like piano, it's going to start a lockdown for about a minute, and you just have to protect the piano thing. And I mean, it's super easy, not too hard. Once you protect it fully, the pack-a-punch is gonna spawn in, and that's literally the first step. It's as simple as that. The next thing you're gonna need to do is pack-a-punch your weapon. You only have to pack-a-punch it once, but then after you get it packed, there's two parts you need to get first. The first is any one of the lampposts in the entire map is gonna be flashing. Only one, and it's super easy to find. Just run around the map looking for light posts and then find the flashing one, and then shoot it with your packed weapon, and some cords are gonna fall out. The next part is at the very spawn room, Old Tessie, where it crashed. Just shoot the hood with your pack-a-punch weapon, and a battery is gonna pop out of the hood, and that's the second part. At this point, no matter what round you're on, an Oscar should have spawned in, and to get the third part, all you have to do is let him see you, and he'll get his red shield around himself, and there's gonna be drones that are like making the shield active on him. You just have to shoot the drone down, and then you can pick it up. Now, I will say you are able to do a bunch of steps early on, but there is a step with Oscar you can only do on round 10 or higher, so you don't really need to be like saving a zombie. You can to make the steps easier, but I would recommend probably just burning your way all the way to round 10. So after you've gotten these three parts, you need to kill Oscar in three different ways. Now, the first way is in the pack-a-punch room itself. There's a bunch of boxes with like pipes on it, and only one of these pipes is going to be shooting out air. You can see it and you can visually hear it pretty loud unless Oscar's in the room, but if he's not and it's just silent, it's super easy to hear. All you have to do is shoot it with your bullet weapon, it'll stop smoking, and then another set of pipes will start smoking in its place. So there's only going to be one active at a time, but they're all going to be in this room. All you have to do is just shoot each of them one at a time, and you're going to have to shoot 5 of them. After you've shot 5 of them, you can come and interact with the telescope right here, and you can move this target sort of around like on the galaxy. You need to make your way over to the sun. It's the one that's glowing. There's Mars and the sun. The sun is smaller and glowing. Just go and hover over it, and what's going to happen is it's going to kick you out, and it's going to spray this yellow beam onto the ground. You have to lead Oscar through this beam. You may have to go back and forth a little bit, but at some point it's going to kill him, and he's going to explode. And that's the first way of 3 you need to kill him. Now, he'll spawn in every other round, so at this point, just burn through a round and get to the next round until he spawns in again. All you're going to be doing in the meantime while you do these steps is get all the perks, get your main long-range weapon, Pack 3 Gold tier. I would recommend the ray gun or the Mark II. That one doesn't really matter, but then you're also going to get the Wonder weapon, which we're going to get here in a bit. So burn through the round and then go find the Oscar. He could literally spawn anywhere on the map, and he'll just be roaming around. You need to go find him. And for this one, lead him by Jug into sort of this weird like telescope galaxy weird room, and put the car battery in this machine right here, and wait for Oscar to come into the room, and then activate the machine, and it's going to start a little lockdown. You don't have to kill any zombies. You don't have to shoot Oscar. You don't have to do anything except just run around the room and don't die. And once this step is completely done, Oscar will die and disappear, and that is the second way out of 3 of killing him. You don't need to do this in any particular order. You just have to do all 3 of these at some point. And on the 3rd one, he's going to drop the wonder weapon. So let's get to the 3rd one. So after you kill him there, just burn through another round. And at this point, you need to get cryo freeze on your weapon. So you need to have 500 salvage at this point. Put cryo freeze on your weapon, and you're going to see these purple crystals all over the map. There's like 20 at a time. All you have to do is just shoot 3 of them with the cryo freeze weapon, and 3 of them are going to drop these shards. You just have to pick up these shards, and you're good to do the 3rd and final way of killing Oscar. So once he spawns back in, get him and lead him all the way to the speed cola room. That's kind of by the spawn area, and lead him over to this rocket. Now with those 3 shard pieces, you can interact with the side of the rocket, and it's going to start like a blast off out of the back. You need to lead him into it, and it's going to count down from like 5 to 1. Make sure he's like in the area of the blast, and what'll happen is it'll stun and kill him, but he's gonna drop the wonder weapon. Now again, if you do this step very first, you won't get the wonder weapon. You just have to do all 3 of these ways of killing him in any order, and on the 3rd one you do, whatever that 3rd one is, that will drop the wonder weapon. And now that you've got that, we're ready to start to the next step. Now at this point, you need to burn your way all the way to round 10. So in between now and round 10, if you're not there, again, buy perks, upgrade your main weapons. You're gonna need, I'm not kidding, for your main weapon, like your long range assault rifle. By the way, for your loadout, choose an LMG or an assault rifle, something with really high damage. You're gonna need to get a pack 3 gold tier if you want to have any chance in this boss fight, and also just pack 3 the wonder weapon. So make your way to round 10, and at this point, if an Oscar hasn't spawned, get one to spawn in by going another round. But whenever he does, you need to sneak up behind him. Now if you sneak up behind him, he'll just keep moving because he won't know you're there. You can shoot your gun, you can get pretty close to him and he won't know you're there. If he sees you and his red shield like goes active, all you have to do is run like halfway across the map and then run back to him, and he'll be back in his patrol mode. But if you stay too close within the map, even if you're through walls, he'll still have his red shield and come after you. So you need to run probably halfway across the map and then come back. But just stay behind him for a while, and he's going to start a bunch of dialogue. He's going to say like audio recording number 7 and then audio recording number 12. Once you hear audio recording number 20 or whatever he says, this is what you need to pay attention to. He's going to say targeting Dr. Thurston, and he's going to name 3 planets. Mine was Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. Now I'm going to put this picture on the screen because your code or your planets are not going to be the same as mine, but each planet represents a number. I believe 1 through 8 or 1 through 7. Look at this code, get your 1, 2, and 3rd planet, and then just, memorize the numbers or write these numbers down in the order from the 1st planet he said to the 3rd. Come back to the Pack-a-Punch area and interact with this machine. And from the 1st planet to the 3rd planet, just put in the correlating number. Your numbers will turn green, and then this little lift will drop. You can jump up on here and grab the key. Now at this point as well, in the speed cooler room, just right here in this little table, you can break the glass and you can grab this saw blade. Once you have the saw blade and the key, come over to this cryo chamber over here kind of by the observatory. Interact with it. It's going to open and the doctor's head's going to come out, and then you're going to cut the top of his head off and take his brain out. And then you're going to take his brain over in front of Jug, and you're going to see a container already with a brain. You're just going to interact and it's going to swap them out. And then when you interact again with the new brain you just put in, it's going to start a lockdown. Now this lockdown is not too hard. Honestly, you just have to stand here, use the wonder weapon, use whatever your best gun is, and just protect it for like the minute you need to. Now once you've protected it, you're able to pick up the brain, but when you pick it up, you're going to be extremely slow and you cannot drop it. So make sure you're ready, make sure you're not like surrounded, but pick it up and loaf your way over to the observatory and place the brain on this table, and then hold X and interact with it again, and then you're going to put it firmly on the table. I don't know what the heck it does. Now, once you've done that, come back to the telescope right next to the Pack-a-Punch and interact with it again. And instead of hovering over the sun, you're going to go downwards and you're going to hover over Mars, which is just a bigger orange circle that's not glowing. And you need to hover like directly over it, like fit it perfectly in your circle. And then in the bottom left here where you see DEC, there's going to be 4 numbers after it. My code is 4831. Now, if your code was like 483, the degree sign after the 4 and the 8 are going to count as 0. So it'd be 4803. But that's only if you see 3 numbers. But with mine being 4831, I go back to the observatory and interact with this machine, and I put a 4831, and you're gonna get a quote that is indicating you've done it correctly. Now, this part can be a little tricky, but I'm going to show you a super simple way to make it super easy. So when you come up to this machine, it's going to be cycling through words over and over and over. Wait until it says like the Thurston's reading list, because that's the first page, and you then need to keep track of everything that comes after that. It's gonna list off books, I believe like 3 books through 9 books. So you could get like, it could name 4 books, it could name 7 books. You just need to keep track of how many books it shows until it says the Thurston's book list again. Now, this can get kind of confusing because the book names are weird and they can be long, but what I did is I literally just took the most distinctive word in my book and just wrote down the one word. So I got 4 books. I wrote down black, moon, void, witch, and silence. I actually got 5, my bad. I got 5 books, and I just wrote down the most, unique word in it that'll stick out. You don't need to know the entire title. Just write down the words that are important to the book. Now, once you've got your book titles, come over to this room just right next to it where Stamina Up is, and there are 3 statue heads you're gonna have to turn, but it depends on where your books are. So the first statue's right here, and these 3 bookshelves are going to correlate to this statue. The second statue is right behind it. This statue is going to correlate to these 3 bookshelves next to it. And the third statue is down by Stamina Up, and it's going to correlate to the 3 bookshelves next to that. So what you're going to do is there's going to be a book on each of these bookshelves. So there's going to be about 9 books showing overall. You need to check, for example, my first head statue here. I check all 3 of the books, and I have 1 of the books. I'm sorry, I'm wrong again. I have 2 of the books. So 3 books are showing on these bookshelves. I have 2 of the 3, so I'm gonna have to interact with this statue 2 times. But don't do it yet. So we're good on this wall. I have 2 out of 3. I'm gonna interact with this statue twice. I go and check the other bookshelf. I have 1 here. So I'm only gonna interact with this statue once. Now I go check the Stamina Up wall. I have 2 out of the 3 books here next to the Stamina Up statue head, so I'm going to interact with this one twice. Now, the very first time you check these books, you'll be able to interact with the statues instantly, but if you fail this step, you have to wait each round, and you can only interact with the statue heads for like the first 20 seconds of the round. So if you mess up within the first 20 seconds, you have to wait till the next round and do it again within 20 seconds. But the very first time, it doesn't matter how long you're into the round, you can try it once. So now I know how many times I have to interact with each statue. So I interact with this one, it turns a bit, and once it stops turning, I interact again. I go over to the next, interact with it twice again, and then I go over to this statue and interact once. And if you've done it correctly, this hatch at the top of this ladder is gonna open, and you can crawl all the way to the top and interact with this blue ball sitting on the ground up here. Again, if you mess up, you just have to go to the next round, keep looking at all the books. If you really have to, check the computer screen again, but it's really not too bad. Once you've done that, you now need to look at 3 pages across the map. The first is still just right here in the observatory. Come over to this table, and you're gonna see a paper right here, and there's gonna be 2 letters. Mine's SW, and it's going to show a planet. From what I've seen, it'll only show 3 planets. The blue one is Jupiter. So mine is SW, which is Southwest Jupiter. So I put on my paper SW-Jupiter. The next one's just right in the stamina room, right where you just did these books. Now, mine's NE, which is northeast, and the planet behind it is Saturn. The one with the ring is Saturn. So I put northeast Saturn on my paper. And the last one's over here by Jug. This one, NW, is northwest, and the red planet's Mars. So I put northwest or NW-Mars. Come back to the observatory and you're gonna see one of the poles that has no planet on the end. Just go up and interact and you'll put Jupiter on there. It'll do some turning, you might get some dialogue. And if you go under like the light here, you can see all the arrows are pointing and it'll say SW or NE. Pretty simple there. All you have to do is get those 3 planets you got and put it in the direction of where you had the direction. So like northeast, or a better example, I have Jupiter for northwest. So what I'm going to do is say, okay, Jupiter, the blue planet, and all you have to do is shoot it in the direction you want it to go. Shoot it all the way until it lines up pretty closely with northwest. What you might notice is the NW arrow isn't pointing directly at the planet. It might be a little to the side. That's fine. It'll still work. So line up all your planets, and only the planets that you can shoot will move. All the other planets will remain stationary if you shoot them. So you know, if you shoot it and it moves, that's a planet you need to be moving. So pretty easy, just shoot it and line it up with the direction that it showed on the paper. And once you've done that, don't goof like I did and start the next step instantly, because you'll get screwed. At this point, make sure you have plates and a decent weapon, because it's about to get a little wild. So once you've lined it up correctly, you can interact with the computer right here, and a teleporter is going to spawn, and it's going to start a lockdown, and it's going to spawn in an Oscar. You don't need to kill a single thing in this lockdown. All you have to do is protect the teleporter. So what's going to happen is Oscar's drones, he's gonna have like 4 of them protecting him and putting a shield around him, but every like 5 seconds a drone is gonna drift off and go towards the teleporter. If it hits the teleporter, it's gonna send the progress bar on the left backwards a little bit. So if you don't protect it and destroy the UFOs before they hit the teleporter, you're gonna fail this step like I did, and you're gonna have to go to the next round to do it again. Now these freaking UFOs can be pretty tanky, so do what I did here and just train around the entire room. And there's an audio cue. It's kind of subtle, but you can hear it. As soon as you hear that audio cue, or just wait 5 seconds and look, you're gonna see the UFOs slowly going towards the teleporter. Just start firing your weapon at it, because it takes a decent amount of shots to destroy it. So just, again, keep training around this room. Try not to let Oscar shoot you with his like weird UFO out of his chest and turn you red, because then the zombies turn into like super sprinters and they can kill you pretty quick. So that's why I recommend plates. Just keep running around the room. Anytime a UFO is going towards the teleporter, just shoot it. It is a little difficult, I won't lie, but as long as you just keep training around, maybe you have Casimirs, maybe you have monkeys, that'll make it a lot easier. But just protect it for like the minute or however long it takes to charge up, and you'll be good from there. Now, once the progress bar is fully filled, you're gonna teleport to Mars. Once you're there, there's gonna be 2 modes, a low gravity mode where you can jump around, or just regular gravity. I believe it switches off like every, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, just back and forth. But anyways, there's gonna be the canister with the brain that's gonna land here on the ground. Pick it up and bring it up to this machine, place it down, and then hold X on it, and it'll like firmly put it in. And as soon as you hear this noise, you need to run over to this window. So I recommend like a Casimir or maybe Ether Shroud, and you're gonna need to shoot these little like Tesla coils out in the desert. For some reason my back one never turned blue, but this second one did. If they're turning blue, that's a good sign. That means the little eyeball that's flying around is going in the right direction. So shoot that, turn it blue, shoot all of them until the closest one is blue, and then turn around and shoot the Tesla coil within the map, and that's gonna draw the eyeball with wings into the map. Now you need to keep shooting the Tesla coil, or else it'll fly back out of the map. So just continue to shoot it until you're in low gravity mode, and then the eyeball with wings is gonna pause at different spots around the map. Again, remember, keep shooting the Tesla coil to keep it in the map, but once it stops, jump and interact, and you'll pick it up, your screen will turn white and all the zombies will die. and you can come over and put it into this little like concrete right here. At this point, pull out your wonder weapon, and there's 5 little spikes at the top of pillars you need to shoot. When you shoot one, it's gonna make like a crazy loud noise, so you're not gonna like wonder if you hit it or not, and your UFOs will be flying around the spikes. But once you've shot all 5 of these different ones, there's going to be symbols that light up on the side of these pillars. Now, once those are blue and lit up, go back to the main part of the map. You can teleport back, and you're going to need to go back to the Pack-a-Punch room with the telescope. And now, at this point, I recommend either having one zombie or in between a round, because you're going to have to stand still for like 10 seconds. Come over to the telescope right here, and when you interact with this screen interface, it's gonna show 5 symbols, and you need to memorize or pause and write them down or something like that, or take pictures of it, but you need to know all 5 in the order from the first that's shown to the last. So what I personally did was just remember it. I would just correlate each symbol with a word. So this crazy one right here, I just said I. It sort of looks like an I. So in my head, I said I. The second symbol is like this staticky line. That's always going to be one of them. So I just label this one blank because it's not really a symbol. It's just blank. So I have I number 1, blank number 2. So I blank. The next symbol, I just call this one triangle, because there's like 2 triangles separate. So in my head, I'm just repeating I blank triangle. The next one, I call this one time, because it kind of looks like one of those time clocks you can like flip upside down and the dirt will fall. What the frick ever, dude. So in my head, I'm saying I blank triangle time. And then the last one here, this looks like the Assassin's Creed symbol, so I literally in my head just say assassin. So the 5 I have, it's kind of hard to remember, but this is what I did. So I got I blank triangle time assassin. Write down, take pictures, whatever you have to do to know the 1 through 5, and come back, teleport back to Mars, and you need to interact with the pillars from the first to the last. Now that second one I called blank, that's just a static line. That's not a symbol, so you just need to find the pillar of a symbol that was not shown for you, and that's going to be your blank one. Now I'm going to be honest, looking at these pillars and like all the weird blue lines, the symbols don't even match up like at all. So literally I failed this. I got the first one right, but I got the second one wrong. But if you get one wrong, you still have time to run and find the second one. So I found the second one, which is on the side here. Turns out I didn't have enough time, so I just waited till the next round, and it won't change. So you can just keep trying over and over and over while you Pack-a-Punch your weapons, get your perks, whatever you're doing. You can keep trying each round, and it's gonna be the same pillar. So I just went to the first, the second, the third, and then the fourth, and then the fifth. And that's the last step before the boss fight. So at this point, if you don't have a Pack 3 LMG or an assault rifle that does high damage, go get enough points and Pack 3 it and gold tier it. Your wonder weapon, Pack 3 that thing. If you have meal kick, I had like the Mark II. I pretty much never used it, so you don't really need to pack that. But also at this point, I recommend quitting and saving and quitting your game, or change to Frenzy Guard, and then put on the Gobblegum's Power Keg, Idolize, and Aftertaste. This boss fight is not easy. I also would recommend, if possible, come into the boss fight with like 40 or 50,000 points, because you're gonna need to keep buying armor off the wall. So once you have all of those things, interact with the brain, and it's going to start the boss fight. Now there's 4 stages of this boss fight. The first one is really easy. Giant skull's gonna spawn in the air and shoot a red laser beam at you like pretty much 24/7. All you have to do is just run around this area and shoot your wonder weapon at the zombies, and it's gonna collect their souls at like these Tesla coils on the side of the map. It takes a lot of kills, so literally just keep running around and unloading the wonder weapon, and your screen will turn white once you've completely filled it up. And at this point, you need to sprint up to the brain and hold X. Now, the skull's gonna keep just flaming you with his red beam, but that's fine. Hold X on the freaking brain, and then once you fully got the bar full, it's gonna shoot the skull with the Tesla coil, and it'll take like 1/3 of his health. And then you just have to do the exact same thing, but this time there's gonna be like little fireballs that come into the map and burn certain areas, so just make sure you're avoiding that. But just keep running around, keep killing zombies and collecting the souls, and then again your screen is gonna flash white, and you need to run up, hold X on the brain. It's gonna shoot him again, bringing him down to 1/3 health. Literally it's just the same thing again. Kill zombies like a soul box, once your screen flashes white, interact with the brain, and at this point both of the Tesla coils are going to shoot the skull and destroy it, and now the real like main boss fight starts. Now hopefully your frenzy guard is full at this point, because we're going to do kind of a glitch that's going to wreck the boss, but he has 3 phases. So this first phase, do not use any gobblegums or your frenzy guard, because this is one of the easy phases. Just unload on him with your wonder weapon, because that'll do like the most damage and destroy his armor. But at some point his critical spot's gonna open. Now when that happens, when you unload with your assault rifle or LMG, it's gonna do a ton of damage. All I recommend is either shooting the wonder weapon or your assault rifle or LMG, whatever you've got, and just keep circling around the entire area like I am here. He's gonna throw rocks and he's gonna run at you. So if you just keep your distance, he can't run and hurt you, but he will throw rocks, and he'll throw them far and accurately. So make sure you're always moving. This first step is not too hard. If you run out of plates, try killing the zombies around you or just buy it off the wall here. But once you completely destroy him, he's going to go to his second phase. Now this second phase is a little harder, but I also recommend do not use frenzy guard and do not use any gobblegums, because the third phase is insane. This one, he's going to throw rocks, but the rocks are going to be a little bigger on this one, so it's a little harder to dodge. But the real problem is he has this smash attack to where I believe if you're on the ground at all, it's going to take like half of your life. So anytime he starts charging up or he's about to slam the ground, jump in the air and you can dodge the attack. But again, just shoot him with the wonder weapon until his critical spot opens, and then just do the same loop we did against the first phase and just keep running around, shooting his critical spot, dodging the rocks, doing whatever you can. That second phase is a little difficult, but if you do what I told you, you'll get past it pretty easy. At this point, if you need to buy plates off the wall, continue to do that. But this third phase is freaking insanity. So what's going to happen, he's got a few new attacks. The first is he's still going to throw rocks, but they're going to be absolutely massive. They're like buildings he's going to throw at you. Secondly, he is insanely fast, like faster than you, so you need to be moving as quick as you can, and this is a good time for Casimir devices to get the zombies off you. His third is there's gonna be like these purple, I don't know, glowy balls on the ground that will absolutely wreck you. If you stand in them for more than 2 seconds, you will go down and die. So make sure you're avoiding those, but the best way to beat him right here is shoot him as many times as you can. Try to reveal his critical spot, and once you do, pop your frenzied guard and do not let go of the trigger, and just keep shooting your wonder weapon, because what's going to happen is each shot with the wonder weapon will do, like, UFOs will fly around and shoot at him. So if you have unlimited of those and you just keep firing them at him, it's going to burn his life away at the most insane rate you've ever seen. Once you've done this, if it doesn't do as good as you saw here, like it just opened his critical spot, now's the time to pop Idolize and your power keg to refill your frenzied guard. Now as you see here, for me, I don't know what the fetch happened, but my frenzied guard didn't do shiz, and then I got punched into oblivion and died. But I was really close, and I'm pissed off. But anyways, once you pop that, it'll completely kill him, and then you'll get the cutscene after that. The augment you want to have on your frenzied guard is the one that'll make it last longer, and the one that makes it like pull from your stock ammo, because that's what's going to allow you to just unload on him. If that doesn't work for you, you can just try the same thing you did with phase 1 and phase 2, but from what I've experienced, he's so fast, he'll just come flying in and punch you in the air, and it's gonna be tough. But I mean, you could still do it that way. I recommend the frenzy guard way, because that's the easiest one. But once you've done that, you've destroyed him and you have completed the Easter egg, so congrats.